Grand Rising, loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. So today I want to talk to you guys about broadening your perspective. Okay? And before y'all start jumping down my throat, talking about, oh, not me, what are you talking about? I'm open-minded, blah, blah, blah. You know, we all can be a little bit more open-minded. We all can broaden our perspective a little bit more at times. So I'm not being judgmental. I'm not just saying you guys, because there's been plenty of times I've had to broaden my perspective as well. And I had to realize that on my own that I needed to change my perspective or broaden it. So I'm just going to help you guys along with that, because sometimes your perspective may be what is stopping you from accomplishing your goals or making progress in anything that you may be pursuing. And you might not even realize it. You might be wondering why you're putting so much work, so much time, so much effort into something and you're not getting any different results. You know, nobody wants to just keep on working at something with no results. That's like a uphill battle, and it's very hard and it's very weary, and sometimes that can really make us down on our dreams. And we should not be that way. We should not. Sometimes you just need to take a step back, reevaluate your situation, whatever it is, and broaden your perspective or change your perspective, whatever it is that you have to do, wherever it applies. But you have to be realistic with yourself, okay? The first thing people need to understand is failure sometimes is a good thing, because failure is a sign of trying, okay? Failure is a sign of trying. That does not mean you're gonna keep failing forever. If it is something that you have your heart set on, or you are dedicated to, or you're persistent, your passion, whatever the fuck it is, right? If at first you don't succeed, try again. And that is real shit. That's real talk. That's real talk. And when you're trying again, though, for your success, that's when it's time for you to broaden your perspective. I know you guys have heard that saying before, there's more than one way to skin a cat. That shit is real. They not just talking about pussy, though. Not just talking about pussy, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. And you realize that once you broaden your perspective on things. Okay, if you try something one way and it doesn't work out, you take a step back, you go back to the drawing board, you sit down with yourself, have a real ass talk with yourself like, self, that shit didn't work out. What do we need to do differently? Okay, and you think about the way that you went about things, how you tried going about the thing. And if you need to write down the way that you went about it or what you did in order to be able to easier compare what you're going to do next, then do what you have to do. Write down what you did or how you went about it. Take a look at it because that's going to help you, because sometimes when you're in something or you're doing it, you're not really paying attention to the effects of what your actions are going to have. So when you write it down, it's like you can look at it from another perspective, a third person perspective, which is a broader perspective, and you will be able to see the flaws or the areas that need improvement. And then from there, you take new notes on that improvement, the things that you notice where you feel like you could do better, just the same way like when you was in school and you used to edit a paper, you're editing your life. Because the thing that we don't realize is our life is our story. This is our story. This is our movie. So all you extra people, all you dramatic ass people, y'all got the right idea, okay? Because this story called life, this is your movie. You write the script. You write the script. If you don't like the way things going, go back to the drawing board and try it again. Broaden your perspective. Try something different and try it again. You may feel like you're not making progress because you have to start over again, but I'm telling you, change is good. And that in itself is progress. And before you realize it, all of those steps that you're taking and implementing for change, for better, by broadening your perspective, before you know it, they're all going to come together, and boom, you have what you want the right way, tailor-made by yours truly. What better success is that? What better feeling of success is that? You don't know? I don't know either. Ooh, my chair loud, excuse me. But anywho, definitely, guys, you have to broaden your perspective. Sometimes the way that you are used to going about things, sometimes you have to realize it's not the right way. Sometimes you have to realize it's time to try something different. Don't be old and stuck in your habits, because the world is changing around you. People are changing around you. If you stuck, it's going to be like you're stuck in a time warp. Have you ever seen one of those movies or something where it's like that person is just moving like really slow and the world is just whizzing around them really fast? You don't want that to be you. Change is good. Broadening your perspective is good. Sometimes you can get ideas and inspiration from outside sources that you would have never thought about if you just broaden your perspective. Being closed-minded and narrow-minded is what has us in the rut that we are in as a world today. But now it is time for us to broaden our perspective, guys. And that's what we're doing, slowly but surely. And I'm very proud of you all. But it's time to do some more. It's time to do some more within. Okay? That's why the world was put on a pause, because it's time for us to do that inner work. It's time for us to broaden our perspectives to get the change and the benefits that we want in life. Aren't you tired of having the same old, same old? I know I am. I know I am. I was tired of doing the same thing, toiling, feeling like a fucking slave. A slave to life. A slave to unhappiness. You know, a slave to depression and anxiety. You know, you don't want to be that way. You don't want to. I know I didn't want to. And then when I realized shit just wasn't working, I said, what do I need to do differently? Let me broaden my perspective. And sometimes, guys, you can get messages on how to broaden your perspective or what to do. You can get messages and inspiration from the craziest things or the simplest things or the most random things. You might be seeing a lot of numbers and synchronicities. Those are signs from the universe, maybe, to broaden your perspective, to try something different, to listen to your intuition, follow your spirit. What is it telling you to do? Is it telling you to do something unlike what you've normally done? And are you afraid to do that because you don't know what kind of results you're going to reap? Hey, listen to the signs, guys. Because if you don't, the universe will do it for you. If you don't broaden your perspective on your own during this time of change, the universe will do it for you. Spirit will do it for you. And that may happen in a way in which you don't want. So now is the time to accept change, guys. Now is the time to work on broadening your perspective. You can start small. Start with little things. Start by trying new foods that you wouldn't normally eat. You used to eating bullshit, fast food, processed food all the time. Live on the edge. Eat a piece of fruit. Eat a fucking apple. Wow. That was hard, right? Once you master that, go on to something else. Go on to something else. Why not? You used to always being dressed to impress every day. Be casual. Relax. See what it's like to live with your hair down. I mean, you still can be cute, but just relax. Go one day without worrying about what people think about you and dress how you feel. That's broadening your perspective. That's broadening your perspective. You're used to living on a schedule, a set routine, X, Y, and Z, leaving no time for yourself and your passions, no time to explore thoughts of things that you may have wanted to do lately, new options in life, whatever the fuck it is. Hey, one day break your routine. One day go off your schedule. Why not? Just one day. One day. See how it feels. It feels good? Okay, do it once a month. That feels good? Oh, do it once every 2 weeks. Okay, live a little. It's all right. Because as far as you know, although we have reincarnated and some of us are old souls, we living in this life. We're here right now. And we have to make the best. We have to do the most to get the most. And that entails broadening your perspective on everything. Once you open up your mind, it's like Pandora's box. There's no going back, but it's great. It's amazing. You'd be surprised once you broaden your perspective. You'd be surprised at what your mind can do. You'd be surprised at what you're capable of. Once you remove those self-inflicted boundaries, whether they're mental, physical, verbal, emotional, what the fuck ever, you'd be surprised how free you feel. Be surprised. Sometimes lack of freedom, sometimes imprisonment is not just physical incarceration. A lot of times it's in the mind. Broaden your perspective. Live on the edge. Why not? You only live once, right? Just saying. Just saying, guys. I really feel like that's something we all need to take in consideration. The time is now. Stop worrying about what people think, because everybody is worried about what people think. And that's why so many people are unhappy. That's why so many people out here are unhappy, because they're living for everybody else except for themselves. They're afraid to broaden their perspectives and open up their minds because the people around them, vision doesn't extend that far. You know what that means? You need to be around new people. People with broader perspectives. People with open minds. People that can pour into your cup. That can fill you up. And you in return. Balance. Everybody needs balance. Balance. But you cannot achieve balance if you are unable to broaden your perspective. You cannot accept it or expect it from others if you don't have it to give yourself. You see? Broadening your perspective, you guys will be surprised the type of people that will come into your lives, the opportunities that will be drawn to you. It'll just raise your vibration. You'll have a whole new outlook on life. It's like doors will open once you look at everything with new eyes. Once you broaden your perspective, take the blinders off. Life is beautiful because life is what you make it. It's what you make it. One thing that I had to learn was to make the best of any situation that I am in. And I also had to learn that if I did not like it and I could not make the best of it, if I tried everything that I could and I could not make the best of it, I had to learn when to walk away. Sometimes that's a part of broadening your perspective, is knowing when to go elsewhere, knowing when to seek elsewhere to enhance your growth. Our life journey is about growth. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual growth. Alrighty? Remember that. Keep that in mind while broadening your perspective, guys. Keep that in mind. I know you will. And you know what else I want you to keep in mind, guys? You guessed it. Keep in mind that I love you. I'll talk to you later.